Being behind in life is one of the scariest things for any one of us. None of us want to be behind in life. We always want to be overachieving, and we don't want to be the lowest achievers amongst our circle, our friendship group, or our family. Though I once was. I was one of the lowest achievers amongst my community, amongst my friendship group, amongst my family when I was a 16-year-old, and I just wasn't good enough at academia. Thankfully, I sit in front of you as a 32-year-old running 5 different businesses from 3 different countries, all of them, alhamdulillah, making money. And I give more importantly shukr to Allah Azza wa Jal, because without Allah's blessing, it would never be possible. But how did I turn it around? How did I go from one of the lowest achievers to today, maybe I would be considered as a higher achiever? I don't want to say the highest achiever, but a higher achiever. This is all about giving value to you guys. So look, make sure you like this video, share with your family or friends, and let me know in the comments if you benefit from these videos. Look, first step is very simple. The truth is, as a 16-year-old, I didn't actually believe I could ever be successful. I didn't believe I could make money. And that was a problem. Because if I never believed it, I was never going to achieve it. And as a 16-year-old who unfortunately felt like I was always going to be a low achiever, I always felt like maybe I just wasn't made out for the world and something wasn't going to give me success. That's not true. And so you sitting here today, you're thinking you can't get out of this rut that you're in. You're thinking whether that's your career, whether that's your personal life in terms of marriage and finding a wife or finding a husband, you feel like this is it. You feel like your life is up to this point currently, and that's just not true. Like, you're very capable of overachieving. Every single one of you guys watching this video, every single one of you has the ability to overachieve. It is just about putting those things in place. Every single one of you has the ability to overachieve. It's just about putting the processes in place, and those obviously we will go through. So let's now talk about a mistake that you're probably doing right now, and that is comparing yourself to everyone else. Let's be honest, we all do it. We all compare ourselves to the friend, the family member, or someone in our community that we would aspire to be like. Now, aspiring to be like someone and having a role model is actually great. There's no problem with that. But the problem becomes when it starts becoming harmful. And it starts becoming harmful when, well, you are a lower achiever at this current stage. Bearing in mind, I was in the exact same situation. I know how it feels. When you start comparing yourself to someone who is 10 times where you want to be, it seems like it's impossible. And it's much easier at that point giving up. It feels much easier to give up than to just have something or do something. And let's give you an example. Let's talk about something which is measurable. If now you're in your GCSEs and someone has achieved, 10 A stars or 10 9s, I think it is right now. I don't even know how the GCSE grading system works. Maybe let me know in the comments below. So someone has achieved 10 outstanding, whatever the number is, right? And you now are on 1 or 2, in 1 or 2 subjects, you're good. You're comparing yourself to someone who is a 10 out of 10, when actually you should be comparing yourself to someone who's a 4 or 5 out of 10. Something which is actually easily accessible, something where you can actually reach your hand out and get to the point where they already are. So if you compare yourself to someone where the reach is too far, sometimes it's easier to give up. Sometimes you can feel like, what is the point? And let's now give another example. Let's say there's a 25-year-old sister and she has 3 children and she has a husband, a loving husband. And may Allah give you pious wives and pious husbands in a day and age where it's very difficult to find pious husbands and wives. But you know this sister, she's got 3 children, she's 25 years old and she has a loving husband, and you're 28 and you're not married yet, and you're a sister, for example. All of a sudden now you're thinking, that's it. My life's over. Oh my days. This is so bad. My life couldn't go any worse. But the reality is this. 28-year-old Aisha, for example, watching this, let's be honest, if you get to 32, you then get married at 29, and you have 2 children by the age of 32, at 32, you will look at your 28-year-old self and say, why was I worried? Why was I stressed? There was no reason to be. At 32, you will not care about Bushra at 25 who has 3 children. You just don't care. Allah has a plan for you. And Allah's plan is the best plan. You cannot beat Allah's plan. So have patience, because there is blessings in having patience. And you might think today your life isn't amazing, but if you don't have patience today, then it's going to be very difficult for you in 4 or 5 years' time. And step 1 is no doubt to understand that you need to be patient and your time will come. That's okay, and that it is possible for you to achieve whatever you're looking to achieve. It just might take a little bit of time. Now, Let's talk about the actions. The truth is, a lot of you guys are in your situation currently in terms of low achieving, and bearing in mind I was low achieving also, because you're not doing the action. You're not doing what you should be doing. A lot of you just need to take the action. A lot of you just need to do what you should be doing. And for example, some of you might be thinking, I want to move to the Middle East with my family. You want to move to the Middle East, but you're not actively working out ways in how you can move to the Middle East. You might want to move to Malaysia, right? And you might want to take your children and move with your parents and have a house and be settled in Malaysia. That's not going to be possible until you work out exactly how you're going to do it. It's fantastic thinking about it. It's amazing. And inshallah, Allah allows all you guys to make hijrah to different countries and gives you what you want. But the truth is, guys, you do need to take action. You need to tie the camel. And so if you're working the job, then maybe you need to think of a side hustle. Maybe you need to think of a business. Maybe you need to think of something else you need to do on the side. If your job is something where you can do it in the UK as well as Malaysia, amazing. Maybe you're a teacher and maybe you now need some help in becoming a teacher in Malaysia and you're a teacher in the UK. Sometimes it's just a case of now being active. Maybe you need to be active on LinkedIn. Maybe you need to send messages. Maybe you need to call schools up. You need to be active. You need to put in the action. A lot of you guys today are low achieving because you're not doing the actions. Let's be completely honest here. Remember, if you're a 30-year-old who isn't married yet, who doesn't have any children yet, who is looking to start a business and hasn't started a business, you all of a sudden will feel very old as a 30-year-old. But if you're a 30-year-old and you got married, you had 2 children, and now you're on your route to starting your business, you've already started, you've taken the steps, then actually 30-year-old doesn't sound that old because you're happy where you are in your age. And it's okay for you to feel a little bit sad, a little bit depressed, a little bit some type of way because you're not happy with where you are in regards to your age. But the only one who can change that is you. You need to accept there is a problem and you should be achieving more, and you are one of the lowest achievers amongst your group, or you are low achieving compared to where you want to be. You need to stop comparing yourself to people who are out of your reach, because it's much easier to give up than to actually get to where that person is. And number 3, you need to take action, because a lot of you guys won't be taking action, and without that action, unfortunately, you're not moving. Unfortunately, nothing is happening. And number 4, I would say probably one of the most important points. I would say this is absolutely crucial. Stop listening to noise. Stop listening to people around you. Stop telling yourself that you're going to start this business and that business and that business. Find one business model that really works, that you have seen people succeed in, that someone has succeeded and you can do it too. Maybe it's another business model that no one has done. But the point is this: stick to one thing. Stop listening to noise around you. Stop chopping and changing, because a lot of people chop and change these days. One thing over and over. Stick at it. Keep at it every single day and don't look back. Stop looking for results. A lot of people today are looking for results when actually you should be working on putting in the hard work and putting in the effort. Turn up every single day and things will happen. See, for me, when I started my recruitment company at 25 years old, I turned up every single day. For 3 years, 3 to 4 years, I would say, I didn't care about how much money I made. I knew the money would come as long as I kept doing what I was meant to be doing. A lot of you guys are too focused on making £10,000 within 2 months or 3 months, and that is okay. It's okay for you to have a target, by the way, but focus on doing the action. Focus on the output. The more you do, the more you're going to get out. And aspire highly, because a lot of people around you just want to make 70, 80, 90,000 pounds in their job, and maybe you should be aspiring for more. So you should aspire for more. Don't compare yourself to the highest achiever, but aspire for more without comparing yourself, and stop listening to the noise to everyone around you, because most people around you probably aren't actually doing that well. Most people around you have their own problems. Most people have some issue in their life. Maybe they don't want to share with you, but everyone has something in their life. And that is okay, because this life is a test. Like, don't ever tell yourself that someone just has it hunky-dory and no one has tests. Every single person has tests. And yes, we should be thankful for Allah's blessing. And when you're thankful for Allah's blessing and you're patient, everything seems to be a lot better. But lastly, and probably the most important part, is whatever situation you're in, whatever situation and you think you're a low achiever, you're probably not. And go back through the whole video. Yeah, I know you want to achieve more. But if you're still very sad and depressed at the fact that you're not achieving and you're not doing what you should be doing, you're achieving a lot more than a lot of people right now. And you are not the lowest achiever in society. It's impossible. There is someone who achieves less than you and is probably happier than you. There is someone in another country who has less than you and is probably very happy with you. And so take the advice that we are taught in Islam, which is whatever you have, compare yourself to someone who has less than you, not than someone who has more than you. Because when you compare yourself to someone who has less than you, you'll be thankful for your blessings. But always, always, always try to be the best version of yourself and try to achieve more. That's all for me today. Make sure you like and share with your family and friends.